we want to find x in the triangles below. Here is x. Let's call it A, since it's the side we're trying to find. The angle opposite is called capital A, and then we could call this angle capital B, and the side opposite it small b. Let's look at our data collection grid. A and A, B and B, and C and C. We're trying to find A. It's called x. We know the angle A. We know the side B. And we know the angle B. We don't need to know either C or C. We can see here that we know both parts of a row of this table, and that points us to using the sine rule. Since we're finding a side, we should write A over sine A is equal to B over sine B. Remember, when finding a side, put the sides on top. Substituting in, we have x over the sine of 30 degrees is equal to 12 divided by the sine of 110 degrees. We can rearrange this. Multiplying both sides by the sine of 30 degrees gives 12 over sine 110 degrees multiplied by the sine of 30 degrees. Calculating this, and you should always make sure you can get the same result on your calculator, we get 6.385 and so on. So x is 6.39 centimeters, correct to 3 significant figures. We now want to find x in the triangle below. Here is x, and since this is the one we're finding, let's call it A. The angle opposite is A. This side I'm going to call B, and the angle opposite then must be B. We don't actually know the angle I've marked A, but we do know the three angles of a triangle add to 180. Therefore, using the 25 and the 100, we can see that this angle will be 180 take away 125, which is 55 degrees. Now let's collect our information in a table. A and A, B and B, and C and C. Side A is what we're trying to find. Angle A is 55 degrees. The side B is 9 centimeters. Angle B is 100 degrees. We don't need to know C or C. The fact that we know both things in a particular row tells us that we're going to use the sine rule. Since we're finding a side, we want to put the sine rule with the sides on top. A over sine A is equal to B over sine B. Substituting in, we have x over the sine of 55 degrees is equal to 9 over the sine of 100 degrees. That means that x is equal to 9 over the sine of 100 degrees multiplied by the sine of 55 degrees. Calculating this, and of course you should check you can get the same answer, we get 7.486 and so on. So x is 7.49 centimeters, correct to 3 significant figures.